Hello, this is Greg from Mystery Honey. Today I'm going to be showing you around one of my other apiaries. So this is the Quarantine Apiary. The main reason for this is because I don't have another how-to video to show you for this Sunday. I kind of did that on Thursday by accident, so I thought I'd show you this place instead. So behind me I've got 4 colonies that started off their life this year in April. Are swarms that I found. I've not had any other swarms this year, which is really good. Probably because my other colonies aren't strong enough to get to the point where they want to swarm. But I've got pretty decent sized colonies from these swarm cells, so I may end up moving these into my production area at the end of this year. But I'll go through them very quickly with you, and yeah, let's get cracking. So I don't tend to keep a lot of equipment at this apiary, just because it's my quarantine apiary, and if there's any disease, I want as little as possible to have to dispose of. So that means that if these guys need some space, and judging from the fact that this top box is full of bees, I'll probably have to go back to my production apiary and collect another super to give them. So this colony was a prime swarm that I caught very early on in the year. It was a massive swarm, and I had to actually collect it in a hive box. I'm quite annoyed that I wasn't recording videos at that time, or properly, because it would have been a good video. The queen eventually turned into a drone layer, and I've had to replace her with one of my own queen cells very recently. But her young, as you can see here, are doing a really good job of filling up with honey. This is a really good site for forage, just because there's lots of fields nearby, and the landowner doesn't really mow it a lot unless it's getting really out of hand, and then at that point he mows it. But as we can see from these frames, there's enough clover and other dandelions and stuff like that the bees are getting enough forage to fill up supers. Oh, so I'm quite chuffed with this. Look at that. It's a lovely one. There's some frames over here that are being a bit ignored, so what I might do is I might just do a bit of shifting around these supers just to get the bees to get a bit more involved in them. Because if you look at that, bone dry. So let's have a look at these frames. How many frames are not being used? 2, 3. So they have been cleaned, but they're just not being used. A reason for this could be that the colony is just focusing on the middle, because as I've mentioned before, the colony is like a big rugby ball, and what happens is they reach the top, and then that's when they start to expand sideways. So even though there's bees in the top, there's unused frames in the side. That to me, it means that they've still got enough space not to want to swarm, and the fact that I've only just released a virgin queen in here also means that they're not going to be swarming anytime soon anyway, so I don't have to worry about that. All I'm doing at the moment is I'm just seeing if I can rejig the supers. There's no point in going in the brood box because there won't be any brood yet, because as I said, I've only just released a virgin queen in there. So I'm just going to give them a bit of a rejig in the supers and see if I can get them working a bit more efficiently. It's always better to have full boxes. Ooh, there's a number on this one. So they've attached this frame to the frame next door. That's annoying, to say the least. Let's look at that. So there you are. So what they've done there is they've attached this frame here to this one, eaten away all this, and then they've decided just to turn it into one big fat frame here. So that's massive. So what I might do is I might just cut away any bits here like that, bring it down to foundation, and move it elsewhere where the cappings have already been put on the honey. Then hopefully that'll mean that they'll just draw this out properly. Move that to the side for now. So these two sides here, so this frame here, this whole side is capped and this whole side is capped. So if I move it here, then chances are that they won't uncap that honey. They'll just Whoa. They'll just fix that frame up a bit. Right. So there's not actually enough room to fit that frame that I've just taken out here. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take this knackered one out, and I'm going to put this one in that's just been ignored, that is full of comb, just because it'll make things easier for them. I can sort that one out another time, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to evenly space all of these frames out, just so they draw out the frames a bit more before they cap them. Right. So that's that super done. Let's have a look at the last super, and then I'll just build this one back up. As I said, there's no reason to go into the bottom box. It's got a virgin queen running in there, so the most I can do is cause trouble, and I don't want to do that. So it looks like the bees are on every single one of these frames. I don't think they've filled them now. Let's have a look at the middle frame. Ooh. So this Quarantine Apiary, I only come here every 2 weeks. So there's still some brood left from the original queen, as you can see. She did start to turn drone laying, but there's still a lot of brood in here from her, so that's fine. Now, I think I removed all the drone frames. Just to lower the burrow population. Ah, now. We have an issue. So, we have an issue in that there are eggs in here. So somehow, there is a queen in this box that is laying eggs. Now, I put the queen cell in the bottom box with the queen excluder over the top. So somehow, the queen has got past and started laying upstairs somehow. Or there was already a queen in there, and I may have removed the original queen, but I didn't catch a virgin queen that was running about. That would explain why there is so much brood, and there's lots of eggs in here, so let's see if I can show you. This is a stunning queen, actually. You can see the eggs there. You've got larvae of all stages and capped brood there. So I have no idea where this queen is. And she's filling up this box here with brood. It's interesting. I wasn't expecting that. So what I can do is I can shake all of the bees from all the boxes into the bottom box, put the queen excluder back on top. Or I can just remove the queen excluder and just deal with it for a little bit, and then do that later on, once she's a bit more established. Because the last thing I want to do is injure her. Because if there's a good laying queen in here, which it seems that there is... I thought this was the brood from the queen before. I thought it was a bit weird that the drone laying queen had laid up such great frames of worker brood. So there's a queen in here laying up a storm. If I can see her, I'll move her into the bottom box. So I'm just having a quick fancy now. That's so strange. Genuinely wasn't expecting that at all. So that could mean that she's in one of the other 3 supers that are over there, which would be annoying, but seeing as this is the only one with eggs on it, my guess is that she's on here somewhere. So this is a frame that's full of larvae with some eggs again. She's laying up this like a storm. It's the benefit of new queens. They come back, well, they should come back with so much energy. So there's eggs here that have been laid today. As I've mentioned before, you can tell that because the eggs are vertical in the cells and not leaning to the side. Oh, I need to find this queen. Where on earth could she be? Oh, I just realised I've been stung on the finger and I didn't feel it until just... Oh, wow. Ouchie. Don't know how they managed that. I guess I'm just so... Right. I don't know what to do. I think what I'm going to do is just take the queen excluder out so she's got more space underneath. I very much doubt I'll be able to see her because it's such a big colony. If I do see her, it'll be a fluke. Tell you what, I've done the Euro Millions tonight, so if I see her tonight, then it bodes well for that. Oh. Yeah, so these are just solid honey frames. Look at them. Wow. Chance for being on these is extremely slim. I'm just going to keep looking just because there may be some cells empty. Let's just start laying on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the old trick that I've shown you before, where you separate each box with a queen excluder. That's just an empty frame. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set this up again. Move these frames to the outside. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to... Just looking down, seeing if I could see her along with the queen excluder. So the bottom box has already got a queen excluder on. The queen has clearly been in this box recently. I think she's still in this box and I've just not seen her. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to I thought I saw her then. I thought I saw her little abdomen disappearing over the edge, but I guess I was wrong. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to queen excluder each box, and then when I come back on Sunday in 2 days, because today's Friday, so when this video is released hopefully, I will know whether or not she's in a box, because that'll be the only one that has eggs in it. There's another honey frame as well. Okay, so yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. Look at this, comb in it. So push this down here, and hopefully things will move out of the way. Right, push, push, push. Okay, so I'm just going to go get some queen excluders. Actually, it's already prepared. Oop. Got some here. So I'm going to smoke the bees off the top and get rid of this comb, because I want it to sit flush. If your queen excluder is warped at all, chances are that the queen can get through it. So I'm wondering if that's the case, because I'm using predominantly plastic queen excluders, and that is an issue with plastic queen excluders, is that they do warp after a few years of use, just because of the constant pulling and bowing of them, and they just give up the ghost sometimes. So do that. Right, queen excluder number 1. There's no bees on top. Just give it a quick wiggle just to make sure. Right, okay, box number 3 technically. Plonk you in, yeah. Right, some comb at the top here. I don't really want to smoke it much because it's a honey frame, and I don't want this honey to be smoky, because I can use this honey for you guys. I'm really curious where this queen has come from, because if there's a queen in the bottom box as well as this box here, it means I've got 2 queens in one colony, separated by a queen excluder. If that's the case, then what I can do is I can just take one of the boxes with a queen in and move it elsewhere, give it another roof and a floor. I can leave the other queen in this place here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tap these out here, because I don't want anyone to get hurt. Okay, and I'm going to wiggle it down, Just slowly slide it across. Try and make sure that you're not squishing anyone. To reiterate, I thought there was a queen in the bottom box because I put a queen cell in there a week or so ago. I've not actually gone into the bottom box because I found eggs and larvae in all stages in this box instead. Meaning that there is definitely a mated queen in here. So what I've done is I have queen excluded each of these boxes, and then when I come back on Sunday after 2 or 3 days, that's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so it's going to have been 2 days, whichever box has eggs in it has a laying queen in it. If this box doesn't have eggs in it and this one does and these two don't, that means the queen's in this box. So what I'll do is I'll take this queen excluder out so she's got 2 boxes to lay in. If this box has eggs in and this box has eggs in, then it means that both of these boxes have laying queens in. So what I'll need to do is move one of these boxes elsewhere, give it a floor and a roof, and put these supers back on top of this one. And it means that we've got a mated queen in here, and we'll have another colony over there. But yeah, I was not expecting that today. Anyway, on to the next one. So one of the main reasons why I don't do a lot of videos here, I think this might actually be one of the first or second, is because I cannot get a good angle for you guys to see anything in. Oh, so this colony is bursting at the seams, it seems. Oh, you can see that, there's loads of bees in the roof. Now I shouldn't be too concerned about that because this box here has a queen excluder. Because I had to combine this colony with another one, so that's why this one has a queen excluder here. Just have a quick look at this frame, just make sure there's no eggs, because if there are, then I'll be amazed. So this box is empty of honey or anything like that, so the bees may be in it, but they're not using it from what I can see. So I'm going to put this back. I'm hoping this box is going to be nice and light, because it's a big one. Oh, I was wrong. It's actually quite heavy, because they have been filling it from the edges, so they've been filling it out from this side inwards towards me. So I'm going to shake these guys down. Yeah, so what I had to do was I had to combine 2 colonies together because one of the queens was a drone laying queen. And in doing that, I've ended up making a massive colony that's making lots of honey, which is good. So the benefit about swarms is that you don't really have, well, I don't have a lot of loyalty to swarms or to the queens because I never created the queen, so it's not my queen. And what I like to do is I just like to see what they can do, because sometimes you get some absolute gold when it comes to swarms. You can get some absolute beasts where the queens are huge and juicy and they're producing lots of honey, which these guys seem to be. Now, we do have some brood. So if you look there, there's loads of drone brood there. And what kind of looks like a queen cell. So there's a queen cell there. So there's a queen cell there. And you probably can't see it, but there is an egg inside. That doesn't mean that that's a swarm cell, as of yet. So the queen can just lay like crazy, and the bees can still tear down any queen cells that have eggs in. It's a very common occurrence, anyway, that where the queen will lay in a queen cup that the bees have made, and the bees aren't ready for it, so they'll just tear it down without any qualms. Right, so this is another brood box. We've got 2 brood boxes on this one. Just gonna have a quick look, and hopefully we'll see some eggs. Otherwise, she'll have swarmed. Now, because oh wow, look at that brood. It's lovely. Oh, we've got loads of eggs. Yeah, so there's definitely still a queen in here. Just have a quick look to make sure there's no queen cells. So we've got some queen cups. I've got lots of queen cups, but no queen cells. Oh, that looks like a queen cell. Yeah, so we have a queen cell here. So if you can see in there, if it focuses, there's a larva in that big pile of royal jelly. So that's a queen cell. So this colony is going to swarm. So that's really annoying, especially because I'm running out of time. So what I might have to do is pause this and come back tomorrow and actually have a good go at it. Ugh. That's the question. 10 minutes. Can I destroy all queen cells in 10 minutes? Let's see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same trick again. If this is trying to swarm, I need to find the queen. So let's find, get some queen excluders. Oh, got more queen excluders in my car than you can stick at. So this colony is going to swarm. I don't particularly want it to swarm because it'll cause trouble for the landowner. They've got loads of space. They're barely using any of these frames down here. But sometimes they can reach critical mass, which I think this colony's done, and can just decide that they want to go, which is understandable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find any queen cell I can. I have to shake all the bees off each time. So I think the queen is actually in that second brood box because that's where all the eggs were. But we'll see. Oh, there's some eggs down here. Okay, so that's fine. Oh, sting on my hands actually starting to hurt. So the entrance is right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move myself over. So I'm going to move myself out the way of the entrance, just because the bees will get annoyed and start climbing up my back. So some eggs. So all this could be false response. That could just be one queen cell in the middle, which it was, and that usually means it's a supersedure cell. Now, I know for a fact that this queen is extremely young, because when I got this, the original queen, she was a virgin and had to go out and get mated. So this queen is of this year. So superseding her seems like a daft choice, especially because these frames are full of capped brood. And not just any brood, but worker brood. So this queen is really, really good. So I think the bees have just got to a certain number where they hit critical mass. Look at that. I think a swarm could leave with this, and this colony probably wouldn't even know, other than that they'd have to wait around for a queen. Right. Right, so there's no queen cells in the bottom box. That's fine. These bees. Not happy with me. How dare you shake us all off? Sorry, guys. Right, I'm going to smoke these guys down, put a queen excluder on top. Didn't help that my smoker wasn't lit very well. Come on, watch out. Right. So it's usually best to put a queen excluder from the back to the front. But because the front's here, I'm doing the opposite of that. I am running out of time. What am I late for, I hear you ask? I need to pick up my daughter from nursery. Definitely don't want to be late. Right, so that's one box done. Oh god, you guys are getting battered by these. Five minutes. I thought I'd be able to get through all 4 colonies today, but I don't think I will. So this is a massive frame of drone brood. Look at that. I'm going to shake this off, and I'm going to do something a bit different. I'm going to put in this battered frame here. One, removing those drones from over there. See if I can get these up. Oh, so I'm reducing the varroa population. But you can also do a how-to on how to get rid of that. I feel like I should be shouting. Can you guys hear me okay? I don't know if you can. Oh. Full eggs. Cells. Ah, yeah. Okay. It's full of eggs and larvae. So this is the frame that I pulled out before that had the queen cell. Destroyed that one. So I've only seen one queen cell. With the exception of the ones with the eggs so far. I'll check the supers. Might not actually be wanting to swarm. They might just continue to feed one of the cells at the queen lady. Wow. Queen cells are interesting. So that's just food. Okay, right. So we found one queen cell that was actually charged properly with the larvae. That's interesting. So when bees, where are you there? Only use one cell or 1 or 2 cells, it usually means supersede a cell, which means that they want to just replace the queen and not swarm. Go away. So I'm hoping that this is just honey in here. Kind of looks like it. Which is good. That's what we want. Lots of honey. No queen cells. Queen cells are the opposite of what we want. That's good. You know, when you're doing this yourself, you can take your time doing it. I decided that today was going to be a nice quick one, without any issues, and showing this apiary before I pick up my dogs from the nursery. And as always, the beast threw spanners in the works. So that's a really good example of where they've cleaned up the comb. You can see a lot lighter comb than the dark comb. Come on, start another time. Right, bees, watch out. Watch out, girlies. So don't worry about the bees being pushed to the front here. God, I don't think you guys will be able to hear a single word that I'm saying here. This may be a complete and utter waste of time. Don't worry about the bees at the front. They'll make their way through the entrance and repopulate these boxes again. Nothing to worry about. This is that drone frame I saw. Always look at drone cells just in case, because frames are always higgledy-piggledy, so it means that you can hide queen cells really easily in them. It's another good frame that shows these have cleaned up the frames. It's a funny one. Come on, move out of the way. So it's this colony. Even though they're flying around like nutters, they haven't actually stung me yet. That's another frame that is just pure drone brood, so I need to give that a quick look and make sure that it's got no queen cells in it. Try and budge these out the way. Inside, that's just honey frame, I think. Yeah, honey frame. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some up here. Don't want to disrupt them more than I need to. I'm doing a lot of disrupting. Oh, I hope you can hear me. Queen excluder. Oh, that could have been poor. The farmer is having a market this weekend. Last thing you'd want is swarm hanging around. Oh. I can't imagine the queen coming all this way up here, so I've got to check. I think this is just purely filled with honey. The bees can be buggers, always remember that. They can hide queen cells wherever they want. Oh. Ow. After saying that they weren't going to sting me, it's just stung me. It's always the case. So late. Doing well though. I don't think I'll be able to get through the other colonies right now. Okay, so that's that. That back in. Queen excluded, last queen excluder. And I don't have to check the top box because the top box had a queen excluder in to begin with, so there's no way the queen can be up there. Oh. And I've already checked it for brood and stuff like that. Remember, little wiggles, and it budges them out of the way. Vibrations. Right. Does it? Right, that's that done, I'd say. But I just thoroughly pissed them off. But at least know which one the queen will be in come Sunday. Oh. Right, I'm going to have to leave this apiary behind now so I can go pick up my daughter from the nursery. It's a lot more interesting than I was expecting it to be, but we'll go on to the other two. So Those two at the side there. Didn't actually get a chance to inspect them, but I'll have to do that tomorrow or something. I hope you can hear me. Microphone is getting battered by bees. But yeah, I need to get going. I'm currently surrounded by bees at the moment, so that's going to be fun driving home with. Right. I'll see you in a bit. Bye bye.